Why we have so many problems? The application is wrong. So when you see, another thing that's very important, there is no contradiction in Bhagavad Gita. And Srila Prabhupada said many, many times, this is a spiritual science. This is a science. Prabhupada spoke many times. This is a science. So when you see some situation, it doesn't match, it doesn't look, it's a science. When you see that, it's because something's wrong in the application. Because this is a science. Has to work like a clock. Why? Because it came from the mouth of God. And He knows everything. And He's all perfect. He is the best. And He's perfect. So nothing is wrong with Krishna. Nothing can be wrong with Krishna. But something apparently wrong or some apparently contradiction, it's because it's not applying to the wrong place in a wrong it's not applied to the right person to the right place. Another thing is when analysis means that you know the philosophy very nicely. You know, like Srimad Bhagavatam repeats itself many times. Many of the concepts is repeated many times throughout the whole Bhagavatam, from the first canto till the 12th canto. They are repeated. The concepts, how they are repeated by different point of view, different people in different situations. Is repeated many times because this is a real study of self-realization path. Real study. You know, so everything that seems contradiction and cause to people suffer and confusion instead of enlightenment is because it's not a proper applied. This is the reason why. Okay. I have a comment here, Mitra Vinda. Unfortunately, that behavior of creating toxicity politically in our temples is used as a weapon by those who do not understand the Bhakti Foundation practice. The temples are for everyone, no invitation needed. This should not happen in temples and should not be tolerated or done by anyone, especially those in leadership positions, unless there is a true issue. Unless there is a true issue, that I didn't understand. That part you don't understand. Unless there is a true issue. Please write down here, Mitra Vrinda, what you want to say. Yes, and you know, Mitra Vrinda, what's the problem? Fortunately, that behavior of creating toxic politics politically is our attempts used as a weapon, but those who don't understand the Bhakti Foundation in practice. Unfortunately, there are many things that we don't understand, and people that don't understand the philosophy or don't know about management, they are given managerial position, and when they have these positions, they cause a lot of difficulties and problems for the devotees. This is what is happening. That's true what you said. Okay, so let me see again. Can we see again the purport, please?
Hare Krishna, Mother. You wanted to...
Purport, please. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Well, then here, Srila Prabhupada is heavily criticizing the mental speculators, telling us that what they are talking, it's nice, but you know, the source is not the absolute truth. It's not the absolute truth. So, and when you really hear the truth, it's like to bait yourself in the magic, in magical waters, when you hear the truth. We have anxiety for this truth. We want this truth in our life. We need that. When we get more purified by chanting, by kirtan, and by the 9 processes of devotional service, we start to get very disturbed by Kali Yuga environment. We start to get not comfortable but uncomfortable. And before the process, practicing the process, we could not understand where we are and who we are. So by chanting, by kirtan, by listen to Bhagavatam, our consciousness changes. And then we start to have jnana chakshu, or the eyes of knowledge. So the way we see life, the way we see activities changed. And then when we see Kali Yuga, how it is going, we get very disturbed because of that. And inside our heart, sincerely and deeply, we desire to go to different environments. We change our behavior. Listen very carefully. We change our behavior and we desire to go somewhere else, where there are pious people, where Krishna is, where there is religion, and we ourselves, we are not part of the problem anymore, because we were part of the problem too. We were toxic, we were inconvenient, we were not respectable, we were not lovely, we were a problem. So when we purified ourselves, and then we see the environment around us, and then we desire from the core of the heart, not by sentiment or hypocrisy or cheating or false things, no, inside the heart, not outside, inside, we think, oh my God, I really, really want to leave this material world. This is crazy, this is impossible. Inside our hearts, not outside. We really feel. By this desire and by the change of values, for sure, our next destination will be very different. Radhanatha Swami said, you change all this next life before you die. It's not like that in the time of death some magic will happen. It's not like that. Magic, no magic will help, my friend. There is a method, there is a process you follow. This is called science. You see? Very interesting. There are 9 processes of devotional service. It works the mind, it works the body, it works the consciousness, it works on you, it works on your purification. This is a science. There is no such a thing as in a time of death you're changing by the mercy of the Lord is that He gave you opportunity, He gave you everything, and then you got it how as much as you could get it, but due to past lives problems you could not get anything, so you continue on a journey. All of us here, we are in a journey. We were very bad, crazy, stupid, materialistic person with very crazy values. But we changed. We didn't change this life only. We changed through many lives. And this is a journey. And we are going without being a hypocrite, without cheating. We slowly and surely, we change our heart. This is what's happening. A transformation happens in us. And next life, because our consciousness changed, next life we go to another planet, another body, and we can go to Krishna. Okay? It depends. Anyways, we are progressing, and this is most important than everything else. Okay, I'm opening for questions, okay? Bring it, Nitya Nanda Kishore. Bring it. Haribo. Very nice. Thank you. Okay, any question, comments?
Sorry, Hare Krishna Mother, thank you very much for your class. Your class is always very fairy, and interestingly, it deals directly with the issues that is within our community. So it's interesting. Thank you very much.
Thanks to you. Thanks to you.
So, dear devotees, if anyone has a question or comment, please kindly indicate by raising your hand or using the hand emoji. Or physically raise your hand. If you can see, you will call you to ask your question.
Okay, if they don't have questions, if I have a little bit more time, we could speak about Lord Chaitanya, because Guru Purnima is coming up.
Go ahead. Yes, sorry.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Yeah, so we can speak. Talk. Okay, no problem, but I'll tell about Lord Chaitanya after. That would be very good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Please, can you unmute?
Yeah, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you very much for your lecture. And thank all glories to Gurudev, all glories to Prabhupada, and all glories to Dasambhusri. Yeah, my question is about when you were talking about the Shastaka. In your celebration, you talk about the third stanza, how what says that we should be as humble as a blade of grass and as tolerant. And you said it's not applicable to us, it's applicable to Uttama Adhikas. I want you to explain a little bit more on that, because I guess everything that is said in the scripture, if you take it into its totality, then it doesn't even apply to us. But it's there for us to try to come somewhat close to it. I mean, it's there to guide us, even though, because definitely, like me, for instance, I know that third stanza, I'm nowhere near it. But that doesn't mean that it's not applicable to me. It's been given, it's made available to me so that I can be able to work towards it. So I want you to give a little bit more explanation to that. Why it's only applicable to Uttama Adhikas.
Yes. A person, he has or she has to cultivate or has to advance from where she or he is. I'll give you an example. When you are in the Google Maps, they show one balloon like that, and then it's saying, you are here. So it's the same. Where you are, what's your limitation? What's your understanding? So when you are trying to apply something that is very different from what you can understand, for what you can swallow, or make sense for yourself, when you try to force these instructions upon you without preparation, that will destroy your spiritual advancement. It's very, very serious. You have to be very careful which instruction you are pulling into your life. You really understand, you really prepare, or you just, crazily trying to impress somebody, or impress yourself, or just repress. According to Bhagavad Gita, repression is not good. So every instruction, of course, humility cultivation, this is for everyone. Even the karmis has to cultivate humility. It's a good quality. But the verse is saying, I am I am lower than a grass on the street, and this is radical. This is for Uttamadikari, because he really feels like that. But when he feels like that, it doesn't damage his mental health. It doesn't damage their relationships. It doesn't damage the economic development. It doesn't damage them. But when a person tries to do that, forcing a situation artificially, he gets damaged. He is not, or she is not, how can I say, what's the name? There is a name more that's described better. Authentic. Authentic is the name. So authenticity, or your own situation, your reality, it's above of I am lower than a grass. Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. And you actually are very, very extremely proud, because you not passed through the first steps before coming, listen very carefully, coming to a very, very high stage of humility. You have to go to the small steps first. But you're very proud, you're very blah, 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 and you're talking about more humble than a grass. It's just repetition. It's just lip service, not truth. Fake. And then fake is go where? Where is going? 3 modes of nature: Tamagun, Rajagun, Sattvagun. Where the fake activities, hypocrisy, where they are situation, duplicity, they are in Tamagun. And Tamagun doesn't give you anything. Tamagun should be abandoned. Don't be Tamagun. Hypocrisy, Tamagun. Fake cheating, Tamagun. Living an appearance, Tamagun. Don't do that. You can't advance in Tamagun. At least Rajagun. You cannot come from Tamagun to Sattva. You cannot come. Illusion. Very interesting. Another characteristic of Tamaguna is illusion. You thinking, this is working. No. Illusion, not working. Another problem of Tamaguna is illusion. I'm thinking I'm coming from Tamagun to Sattva. You cannot. You can't do that. Rajagun is better than Tamagun. The devotees, they have to know how to identify the modes of nature, how they work. The 3 modes of nature, they are the base of Maya. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita. It's very, very important. So apparently, which is what is good, actually, is if it's Tamagun, is not good. So we have to be intelligent for discriminate that. Okay, next question.
Thank you very much. Sadhu Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Hello, boss.
Over to you, Sadhu.
Brother, my boss, my black boss and brother, I love Sahadev.
I love you back. Thank you so
I
much.
love Sahadev. He's everything.
Thank you.
Gauranga. Gauranga.
Thank you for speaking, as always. I just wanted to say something really quick about Arichakra Prabhu's question and the answer you gave, because I remember I once asked a question similar to Arichakra Prabhu's question to His Holiness Chandra Mauli Maharaj. And His Holiness Chandra Maharaj said to me, Sahadev, you don't need to worry. That is instructions for sannyasis. You are not a sannyasi.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, so certain statements are meant for certain people. And mostly the statements are meant for everybody in general, but there are some few statements made in the scriptures that are aimed at certain people. Because the question I asked Chandra Mali Maharaj was, most of us, we became devotees before we married. And most of us will recite the Sikshastaka prayers. Every morning, in most temples, we chant the Sikshastaka prayers every morning. And one of the prayers says that, I do not want beautiful women. But I haven't seen any man who was marrying and did not see beauty in the wife before he married the woman. So why do we do that? And
Put down the hypocrisy, and then the truth will come out. Hallelujah! Nitya Goraga.
then Maharaj said, no, Sahadev, don't worry about that because that is meant for sannyasis. That as a sannyasi, you don't want beautiful man, you don't even want many followers. Because that is also part of the question I asked, that we're claiming that there are not many people joining our movement. Yet we are every day praying that we don't want many followers. So what are we complaining about? You know? And so,
What are you complaining about? It's just contradictory, for God's sake.
yeah, so thank you for that. But my question is, Maharaj Parikshit is saying that because he's been drinking the holy names of the Lord, hearing about Krishna and his devotees, he does not feel exhausted. He does not feel tired. I know that, like you said, we are all on different levels. So what can we at our level attempt to practice to come to that level where we do not get tired of hearing about Krishna? Because sometimes we feel that, oh, I've listened to I've listened to this particular text. I have listened to the birth or the appearance of Lord Krishna. Like every Janmashtami, we talk about Krishna's appearance. So every day, every year, I hear about this. I don't need to hear anymore. But what will help us to have that same feeling that even though I've been hearing, but I'm never satisfied, I want to hear more. This is my question. Hare Krishna.
Okay. Well, you were telling you spoke a very interesting thing just now, 10 seconds ago, 15 seconds. You said that in Janmashtami you always hear the same thing, and it's just like the mind is saying, I know that already. I know that already, so I don't want to hear that again. And it's very interesting because this is honesty, and must be there, because we must use our brains for Krishna. Unfortunately, we are educated not to use the brains. We are educated by being to be submissive and obedient and not thinkers. But Srila Prabhupada didn't say that. He said we must be independently thoughtful. He said that. So it's truth. Your mind and your intelligence is correct. If every year I am listening the same pastime, why? Why? If Krishna executed so many leelas and he has millions of qualities that Ananta Shesha cannot stop, cannot say enough Krishna's qualities. And if 1 year we hear Krishna in the rasa dance with the gopis and why he is there, what they did, what the gopis did, what Purnamasi did, this is all in Gopala Champu. Details about Krishna Lila, you know, what happened behind the scenes, Why Radharani this? Who is this person? Who is another person? Who is this person? Their feelings. There are so many things to be said, but unfortunately, many times the leaders or the speakers don't make one endeavor to deliver a proper talk and inspire interesting, deep talk to the audience. He repeats the same thing every year because himself is not progressing or he's not studying. I'll give you an example. I went to Vrajamandala Parikrama for 5 years. Each year I did 30 days Parikrama. And you hear every year different pastimes, not the same. But the most interesting of everything is that you hear the details about the pastimes. Details and music and kirtan related to those pastimes. And you hear about which quality or sweetness Krishna is expressing here. And then, of course, the mind and the intelligence and the soul wants to advance. Can you imagine? I did marketing and I learned some marketing concepts. And then 20 years later, I'm learning something else. I'm going deeper in marketing concepts because it makes things excited. It makes things nicely. So it's the same with Krishna. So if somebody is repeating the same story just because they are lazy, and then they tell you that you don't have devotion because you don't want to hear anymore, they're wrong. Not you. You know.
Hare Krishna, mother.
Just a second. For example, Kaliya pastimes. Kaliya pastime is so deep and so wonderful. There are so many dialogues, and the way Krishna was looking at what Kaliya was doing, and the feelings of everybody involved there. And Mother Yashoda, she fell unconscious on the floor. You can talk about her feelings of fear to lose Krishna again. All the time some demon was coming, she was just like, what's happening here? You know, like you can focus on different feelings of the Krishna's devotees and these very advanced devotees. And by doing this, you start to feeling the same. You start to understand that Mother Yashoda is not just a figure in the books. This is real. This is Mother Yashoda. This is Mother Yashoda. And she is a person. And she has feelings, qualities, wills. She does things. She takes decisions. So and then you enter inside the Lila. So everybody has to experience Krishna Lila in a very deep way. Very deep. So it's not wrong to how can I tolerate all the same? No, this is not the point. It's not on this discussion. No, you don't have to. You have to go further. You have to go to other pastimes and deeply listen and take another books from different acharyas speaking to the same thing, explaining what's the reason behind that, and then go deep. And then you know what happened? It will take your mind. It will steal your mind. And this is what the process in Krishna Lila has to do. It has to steal our mind, call our attention. So then we will be more attracted to Krishna than to Maya. It has to happen. But it's not by force. Is real. The whole thing should be real. Should be for real. I hope it's clear.
Yeah, thank you so much. I think His Grace Harachakra Prabhu had something to say. Please.
Yes. Yes, Prabhu.
It's a follow-up question that I asked. I think I'm still not satisfied with the answer because
no problem. Yes, Prabhu.
What I was asking is that it's like take for instance, if I go to medical school and I want to become a doctor, in the initial stages, I'm not a doctor and I cannot claim I'm a doctor. But my goal is to become a doctor. So everything that has been set, the goals that have been set for me, the procedures that have been given to me, as long as I'm focused on the procedure and I follow it systematically, then gradually I can proceed and become a doctor.
I have a question for you. I have a question for you. I have a question for you. I have a question for you.
Okay, I'll listen to your question, but let me end with what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that the scriptures, there are a lot of things the scriptures tells us that we know we are not there yet. It's like the scripture says that if even you chant Maha Mantra only once, Harida Saku said, if even you chant it once, the benefit that you get, you can never get commit anything that can overshadow the benefit. But we've been chanting always. We can't claim we are there yet. We are not there yet. But we are following the process that will one day bring us to that level, right? So what I'm saying, the question I'm asking is that, are we supposed to not to be pretenders? I mean, if you tell me that we don't have to be pretenders to be, I mean, practitioners of the test stanza of Shesha Saka. If you say we don't have to be pretenders, that is understandable. But if you say that the instruction is not for us, that one I don't understand. And that is why I want clarification. Because we have a goal. And if it's not our goal, then what are we doing?
Harichakra Prabhu, you finished your question.
Yeah, I finished my question.
Okay, Prabhu, thank you. Prabhuji, you said about the medicine course, and I'm saying about engineer course or any other course. Okay. When you enter there, the lesson is all there. They have advanced lessons, not for you, because you are new. Pay attention, please. If this doesn't make sense for you, and this is your problem, not mine, because this is completely logic. And as I said in this class, this is spiritual science, Prabhu. It cannot be different of a science. So if you study anything, I did MBA, so there are very advanced lessons for when you are advanced. And when you started, there are lessons for beginners. So I'm saying, and I repeat this, and this is not only what I'm saying, this is what our society showed in all these 50 years, that trying to apply certain instructions that you're not prepared for damage your mental health. It's a very, very serious thing. And everybody who is here, please listen to this very carefully. Don't do this with your spiritual life. Go accordingly. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Guna Chaturvarnya Mayashristam, Guna Karma Vibhagasha. There are 4 varnas and 4 ashrams, and we bring with us the past life's results. And then in this life, we have a situation in our body, we have a situation in our capabilities. I have my capability, and Sahadeva has his, and Harichakra Prabhu, we have different understanding, different capabilities. If we respect that, and then we will be happy, and we will be learning. And Harichakra Prabhu said something else. He said, we are not supposed to pretend. My God, I'm telling you, for all of you here, and he too, never, ever pretend. Pretending should be abandoned. I'm not saying pretending, not pretending, doesn't mean that you will offend and fight and be rude with people. I didn't say that. I just say, if you pretend to be something that you are not, you'll be damaged. So, what's your situation? Learn from where you are, your situation now, what you need to know, where you have to go step by step. Then your spiritual advancement, your spiritual life, your happiness, your mental health is protected. We are not going to spiritual world by vote. Please pay attention. You're not going to spiritual world by vote of community, vote of society. Your consciousness should be transformed then you go to spiritual world. Just because you pretend to be something that you are not, it doesn't bring you anywhere what to speak to spiritual world. But basic human behavior, like learn how to communicate your ideas, learn how to respect elders, learn how to respect the environment. This is not Vaishnavism, big process of self-realization. This is not, my friends. This is just a normal, educated, balanced human being. You respect others. You don't have to hear amani na mana dena to respect others. Respect is part of human society. I hope it's clear.
Hi, Krishna.
Yes.
Thank you, NITYA. I've missed you so much. Please accept my obeisances. All glories to Kishore Prabhupada. All glories to the Vaishnavas and the caretaker of souls. Fake it till you make it. Thank you for addressing that. When it's misunderstood, it can be very distracting and confusing. And then on some levels, I feel as though it allows we as imperfect beings to skate and not actually do the work necessary in the after training of the process. And another, oh my God, you said so many things, and I appreciate you so much for the life that you bring to the process of bhakti in explanation and understanding without a lot of fog around it. You just cut through all that stuff with your heat and your passion and your wonderful personality and these truths that hold up the table. It's the last leg holding up the table of Dharma. If we live by the applause, we will die by the booze. Aspects of ego, false ego in service, and I'll say politics, where we like this one, we don't like that one. And I wrote something earlier just relatable to how can we move beyond politics, which has no place in bhakti, to a place where we understand and access Srila Prabhupada's efforts and sayings of, it's for everybody. It's for everybody. Yes. Now, if you're hurting people, you're bothering children, whatever, handle that. But if we're doing politics over, little things and whatever, you don't need an invitation to come to a temple. It's Krishna's temple. So how can we move beyond that? Thank you, Devi.
You were talking about moving beyond politics?
Yes.
Yes. Politics, or, this person can come to the temple. You can feel welcome here. Or you don't feel welcome.
Yes, I was discussing with a lady. She's my friend for more than 20 years. She's Brazilian. She lives in Atlanta. She's very sharp, very good, very nice girl. So we were discussing, and then she got cheated in India by a devotee. So if you are a Vaishnava, why are you cheating? It means you're not yet. You are trying to be. Vaishnava is very high. Vaishnavism principles are very high. So then we all get entangled with a lot of illusion, trying to explain and explain I forgot. We're trying to explain what we cannot be explained. We try to justify, we cannot be justified, like politics. How that become how that can be that we are not thinking about this very basic lesson of Bhagavad Gita about equality. I give opportunity to people based on their status as a spiritual soul, if I am a temple president or leader, not like that something else, some other value. This is very materialistic, gross materialism. And then look at, very interesting, then we are trying to resonate what happened to us. We waste a lot of time trying to resonate. Oh, but you know, the deities are here and he's doing some service and some politics and this and this and that, and trying to resonate and wasting a lot of energy and time with this. Very gross materialism. It means the person is not prepared to be a leader and shouldn't be. Shouldn't. Or should be prepared before becoming a leader. And should follow very basic rules for a good, organized human society with ethics. Oh no, we are spiritual, don't need ethics. And what happened? Politics, manipulation, exploitation, isn't it? Mistakes, misguided, everything in the mode of ignorance. And we are thinking, oh, but we are chanting and we are... So most important is that, okay, you are chanting, you are hearing. And what's the effect this is causing in your heart? What's the effect? You're not even honest. So what kind of process are you practicing? If Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati said, these people, they live in Radhakund there in India, here, he said, they're not living in Radhakund, they're living in Hellkund, not Radhakund. They live in hell. He said that because he was like that, huh? He was very sharp with the words, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati, because you know what does it mean live in the Holy Dham? Your consciousness is in the Holy Dham. You know, when I travel, I just came from Brazil. I travel many states in Brazil preaching, and also I went to Santiago, Chile, in Latin America for preaching. And when we are there, they look at us, like me, my daughters, they feel we're different. And why? Because after 15 years living in Mayapur Dham, you leave the Holy Dham, but the Holy Dham doesn't leave you. Wherever you go, you carry the mood and the culture of the Holy Dham. If you did your lesson nicely by serving the Holy Dham, you bring this with you wherever you are going. So, what are you really taking inside your heart by hearing and chanting? You become a political person. What's going on with you? So, if you think you solve the temple problems by being a politician, by offending, by doing things, it means you're not prepared for leadership service. It is damaging you. It's confusing you. So you shouldn't stay. And if you are damaged because of this environment, please step it back. Go where you really can do spiritual advancement. Spend your time wisely. It is very, very important. Spend your time wisely. Okay, Shriman Varahacharya Prabhu, here's a question.
Yeah, Prabhuji, you may unmute. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, my humble obeisances, all glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to Sri Guru and Gauranga.
Dhanyavad,
Haribol. Just as usual, your presentations are always very cut edge dynamic. I have just one question, comment. You have to respond to it how you deem fit. When we say that, of course, I do believe strongly that the scriptures are not, most of the time, for the instructions are not for everybody. It's always for different levels of people. That is true. But then what I have problem with is when does the transformation come? Because if we want to live our normal life in our normal way, just like the saying goes that if you keep doing things the way you used to do things, then you always get the same result. So you have to at least do something other way. And that other way is what scripture is giving us. But if we want to just remain normal, my guru also said, don't try to be normal, because those who accept the norms of the material world, they're just going into perdition, something like that. I cannot paraphrase it well. But he did say, don't try to be normal. So I think the whole purpose of Krishna consciousness is a revolution, which most of the time we're not prepared for. But we have been attracted by grace. And we have to now make endeavor to let the transformation take place. Otherwise, if we want to be, how do you say it, complacent, if we want to be complacent in our way and want to be normal, transformation will never come about. So yes, I agree with you, it's painful and it can be deceiving, it can be like a deception. But that is the whole process of a revolution. There will be no childbirth without pain. And spiritual life is like we're going through another rebirth. So it will be painful. There will be mistakes. There will be fall down. But the transformation.
I think we have to. This is a philosophical class.
I got this. I don't make my statement long.
Just a second. We have to. Your arguments. It should go step by step. So what's the argument you are giving?
Yeah, my point is that if we want to remain in our modes, just like Chatuvayam Maya system that you said.
You already said that. You already said that.
Right.
Times.
So my point is, when does the transformation come if we do not try to be what we are not?
Okay. I need to answer. The point is, in any time in my answer, I said that we shouldn't practice anything. I didn't say that. I said that humility and respect to others are human qualities. People have to do that, even if they are not Vaishnavas. They have to. But when you force yourself to be from zero or less than zero, from a complete tamagon to I am more humble than a grass, and then you get in trouble. And this is what happened to us. Hypocrisy, contradiction, disturbance, toxicity. This is what happened to us. So I said, keep this in your reality. Keep this in your step by step. Of course, we're not talking about even Vaishnavism yet. Every human being has to cultivate good qualities. And humility is for every human being, not only for Vaishnavas. Have to cultivate, have to know how to offer respect to others. Have to know that. It's beautiful. For everyone, it's beautiful to offer respect to others. To be humble and not be overly proud of yourself is beautiful for everyone. But the verse, Trinadapi Sunichana, is talking about a state of mind is where people are in Prema Bhakti, that they really feel like that. They are not pretending. They feel like, I am so small. Krishna, please, I am in your hands. But when you just pray like that and then you punch you are God bother, you mistreat women, you beat blah blah blah, you know, you do politics, and then it's becoming crazy contradiction. This is what I'm saying.
Yes, just one more thing. I am more comfortable with Trinidad Nation now, but if I have to go by what you're just saying now, then Nandanam Nanjanam Nasundarim Kavita Vajagadisakamaye, that is even more difficult to apply, because that is opposite what everyone is desiring. I mean, that is just clear. You know, aiming to become humble and trying to practice Sunashana, that is very good virtue. But Nandanam Nanjanam Nasundarim, how many people really practice that? So, I mean, if we want to go by what you're saying, we are going to analyze every other instruction. I would say, no, this is not for us.
Of course, but this is not for us. And then it has to be changed. It has to be fixed. It has to be fixed. Your reality as your reality, and you make a spiritual advancement without being a hypocrite from the platform that you really are. That's your reality, my friend.
So
You go here. Listen, just a second. I was married for 24 years. I was. But Ravi Prabhu, Srila Prabhupada disciple, he married 5 times. I'm not superior to him. He's in his process and I am in my process. So if we understand individually where we are and what's the process is individual and how we do that without being hypocrite, everybody will take their spiritual advancement. What I thought was hypocrisy, because this is the mode of ignorance. Don't try to be artificially what you are not.
Good.
Don't.
I agree with that. Just last point.
It's not a question. This is a science. If you do that, your mental health will be damaged, and not only your own mental health, but you will damage others, like is happening in so many places in this moment. If you call people for Easter ghosting, they will complain. And they will complain about what? About people very bad qualities, even not civilized qualities. What we speak about? Vaishnava qualities. So then this is exactly what we are talking here right now. We are talking about a very high Vaishnava quality, to feel very low and extremely humble. But it shouldn't be a pretending. It should be a pretender. To pretend is in Tamagun. To go through purification from the platform that you are is Rajagun. And then to be purified and accept that is Sattva Guna. This is what's happened. We have to go deeper. We have to really go deeper in our questioning. So where is the mistake? Because the mistake is not in Krishna. The mistake is not in the acharyas. And the mistake isn't in the process. The process came from God. God is perfect. So how that's the mistakes are there? Contradictions are there. Problems are there. Where are the problems? Where? So I can tell you, this is the application of the philosophy in our lives. And it has to be fixed. Because the process is perfect. And works like a clock.
Okay.
Thank
Thank you.
Yes.
Just last point.
Yes.
I don't know. I don't understand what you mean that it has to be fixed, but I just take your word for that. But what would you say? Because Nandanam Nanjanam Nasundarim, I do not want wealth. I do not want a number of followers. I do not want a beautiful woman. We recite this every day, but this, you can agree with me, is not the desire of everybody. That is exactly what you say. I mean, Uttama Adhikari. But so reciting this every day, does that mean hypocrisy? Is this what you are saying we should fix, not to repeat what we do not mean? So I just want to get it clear.
I don't. It's very good question. Thank you. It's a very good point. Okay, we repeat the Shikshastakam every day, and we have to admire those who really feel that. And we have to understand, like, I'm not in that platform, but I really admire those who are not desiring beautiful women or followers or adoration. I really admire that, and I would like to be like this. This is the feeling that one have when they see those things. So when they are real about their situation, they will appreciate much more those who have those qualities. You appreciate much more because these qualities are very rare. And what we did with these very high level instructions, put them down for everyone, and this is all the mercy, blah, 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 blah. This is all blah, 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 blah. This is very serious. When a person in this world can really do this without being duplicitous, without being a hypocrite, we should admire this from the core of their heart. And you know what? Let me tell you something that's very interesting. When we admire these very high qualities in other people, we purify ourselves and we start to desire to be like this. We think, I'm not like this. I'm very attached, and I choose my wife because I think she is beautiful. The man is visual. This is a man's psychology. He only see how beautiful is it. He's not saying if she is, and after he thinks if she's nice and educated and intelligent, he sees after. So girls, you there, and men too, please spread that everywhere. I tell you something very shocking. Our poor devotees, Mataji's ladies, dress very, very simple way, very ugly way because they are not the body. And then our very nice, beautiful men, they went outside the devotee society and got beautiful ladies, well dressed, with beautiful hair, to get married. And many of them became they were not getting proper care or proper visual. They end up without being married, believing that by not dressing properly, they were showing themselves advanced and renounced, and the devotees, brahmanas, very renounced, very nice, they would pick them out for wives, trying to have a very Krishna consciousness family, ignoring the man's nature that he cannot go against, because there is a hormone inside him that forced him to act in another way. So what the Bhagavatam says, that women were dressing beautiful for the fire yagya, and when women dress beautiful, this is auspicious. That's Bhagavatam. You're not teaching renunciation for women. Women should be beautiful. All of them.
Hare Krishna. Well, thank you, Kishore Devi. Thank you so much.
They're shocked.
Well, thank you. We have Jana Chashi Prabhu, but I would like to say something really quick. Jana Chashi Prabhu will come to you in a second. And it seems to me that we are all saying the same thing, maybe in a different language, because
Exactly.
yeah, but what I think Mother NITYA Kishore is saying complements what Harichakra Prabhu and Srimad Vara Prabhu are saying, that we do not have to jump. We have to understand where we belong and try to live as such while we aspire to get to this very advanced stage of life. So I think that is what it is, because I don't remember the names, but maybe Shimabara Prabhu and other senior devotees, you may remember this story. There is this story about, I think what's the name, Chakra Prabhu has shared this story with me too before, where Maharaj Yudhishthira, soon after he became the emperor, actually, even before he became an emperor, there were some 4 thieves who were brought to him. 4 people working together, they stole, they committed the same crime. And Maharaj Yudhishthira was judging them differently. And Shakuni said, look at this guy. We told him he's not qualified to be an emperor. 4 people, they've committed the same crime, and you are charging them differently. And then it was explained that because the 4 people belong to 4 different social statuses. And so if you are a priest, certain things are expected of you. If you are a military, certain things are expected of you. And that is why Krishna told Arjuna that you are a military. Why are you running away from your duty? You see, for you and me being priests, if somebody does something bad, we're going to use our priestly sentiment. It says, okay, like Christ says, if someone slaps one cheek, turn the other cheek. But the police officer is not going to do that. But the police officer may wish that at some point I may also be able to be tolerant as this person. So I think that is what we're all talking about. Jana Chakshi Prabhu, please, you may unmute.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna Mother, Nitya, Kishore. Please accept my humble obeisance. Glory to all the Vaishnava Association here. But I thank you very much. And I've been here listening, and it's so inspiring. So like what Sadi Prabhu just said, it seems yourself and all the other speakers are saying the same thing, but probably with different words and different explanations. So this is my point. The Shastaka prayer, apart from the standard 3, we're saying that I don't want beautiful women. I don't want any number of followers. I don't want to accumulate material wealth and all that. So according to what the mother is saying, if you don't really feel like that, then it is not right for you to recite those. So my question is, do we have to take such things literally? Or
There is something else that we forgot. You know what? Who is saying not attracting to, and I don't want this, I don't want that. Who is saying this? Who is saying?
Yourself, I mean, an individual.
Lord
No.
Chaitanya. Lord
No.
Chaitanya.
Not Chaitanya is saying, my friend.
Oh, yeah, true. Yes.
We are chanting. Lord Chaitanya is his thoughts. Is what he
True,
is.
Mother, I didn't get your question very well, so let me land with what I want to say, then probably you can come in. So it's Mahaprabhu saying this. And I think it's a desire of devotees to emulate or follow the footsteps of the Acharya. So a devotee gave an example that we go to school, we want to become medical doctors, so we go study medicine. So even though we are not qualified medical practitioners yet, but the desire to become medical experts, that strong desire encourages us to do things that ordinarily we might not have loved to do. For instance, staying all night, studying, doing things that ordinarily you wouldn't have done, but because of the desire of trying to become a medical doctor, you try to stay awake and do things that will facilitate you to become a medical doctor. So even though at the initial stage, you are not a medical doctor, but just for the fact that you are desiring strongly, one is allowed to think and wish to be where you want to be based on the practice. Srila Prabhupada, I'm very much aware that Srila Prabhupada recited these successor prayers, but I'm very much sure also Srila Prabhupada wanted to have a lot of facilities for the society. And all these facilities are material, like having temples, having schools, having ashrams. These are all material things. But the desire of Srila Prabhupada is to use these material things in the service of the Lord. So when you desire for these things, that's my understanding, without necessarily for your own sense gratification, that even though you can desire for them, but if you don't desire for your sense gratification, it is not wrong. So even though you're not on the platform of you rejecting everything material, but desiring for these things for the service of the Lord is also accepted, because we have to desire to become who we want to become, even though now we might not be occupying that position. So like I said from the beginning, it seems Mother and all the other devotees saying the same thing, but maybe with different words and different explanations. So this is how I feel. So my question is the Prabhupada was desiring to have all these things, material things and all that, was it bad? Or is it that maybe he was not on the platform of Mahaprabhu to reciting the mantra that says that I don't want this, I don't want it. So the Prabhupada wanted us to preach everywhere and get so many following. Okay. He wanted many assets for the society to progress. But
Yeah.
I know not for his personal self-gratification.
That's very interesting, you know, like a grihasta can't say that. And if a grihasta say that, that's very bad for the society, because the society needs a lot of resources, and these resources should be coming from somewhere. So people have to work and help the society to develop. And then if they are thinking, I don't want this, I don't want that, and if they are thinking, if they want something, this is material, this is wrong, this is very contradictory. And for sure it's wrong. I'm sorry to say. I'd like to be more kind, but when we are talking philosophy, and then we have to put the kindness aside. The whole problem that we have is all this confusion that monk's life is the perfection. Krishna consciousness is for the 4 ashramas and 4 varnas. Especially the man always carrying some guilty that he's working, he has money, he's not going to Mangalarati. Because why? Going to Mangalarati inside the temple and no money and this and this and that, it belongs to the Brahmachari ashrama, to Vanaprastha ashrama, belongs to Sannyasa ashrama, doesn't belong to Grihastha ashrama. Grihastha ashrama is something else. The man who works the whole day long, weekend he has to rest, and sometimes he's not going to the temple. And every day, maybe he cannot wake up anyways 4:30 a.m. This is monk's life. The lifestyle that you have, it doesn't measure your spiritual advancement. It's just a lifestyle. A person can be in the temple, waking up 4 a.m., going to Mangalarati, and a grihasta who wakes up and go to job every day can be more advanced than a brahmachari who is cheating. And this we see all the time. It's very rare to see sincere motivated brahmacharis nowadays. Very rare. They're really there, but they're not brahmanas. For living in the temple, you have to have brahminical what's the name? Inclination. I was living in the temple for almost 10 years. I read so much and I heard so much, and I was doing book distribution every day for almost 10 hours. That was my service. I am a book distributor. That was my service. I loved that. I never regretted. I loved my temple life. I gave all the money, and it was so much money. And I am very happy I did. Everything was amazing. But that's my nature. Other people, they can't do that. They feel bad doing this. They're not prepared for authorities, sadhana, renunciation, reading. They're not attracted to that. It doesn't mean they cannot do spiritual advancement. It doesn't mean that.
There's something I want to add. I want to add something before you continue. So my point here, I don't want this. I don't want that. Do we have to take these things literally? Because, for instance,
I'm sorry, Gyanachach, you are confusing. I'm sorry. Who is saying this? Please pay attention to what you are saying. Listen to yourself. These prayers are speaking by Lord Chaitanya, and he is a sannyasi, and he's saying, I don't want that, because this is a sannyasi position, and what we are doing is not you are saying, but Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is saying. You are repeating Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's prayers.
Mother,
you know,
according to the Bhagavad Gita, the Lord appears in the material world for 3 reasons. He comes down here to eliminate the miscreants and gives pleasure to the devotees, and he also re-established religious principles. So even though Mahaprabhu said these things, we can't just say that he was saying for himself, because he comes to re-establish religious principles for others to follow. All the things the Lord did, we are supposed to emulate and follow the footsteps.
Prabhuji, I have a question for you. This discussion is very good. Prabhu, do you think if I question you, if only sannyasis can listen, Prabhu said some against this. So I continue. First a question for you, but you have to go quickly because I'm giving the class. So,
yes.
Don't take my class because I have things to say. I know very well what I'm doing, where I am. I'm not traveling my mind. I'm not like this. Prabhu, if I ask you, Prabhuji, only sannyasis can develop a love of God and go to spiritual world. This is a question for you. What you would say?
Yes or no? Based on the scripture, that's a lie.
No, Prabhu. Prabhu, it's a yes or no question. Only sannyasis and brahmacharis can go to spiritual world or develop a love of God. Yes or not?
No, I mean, what is your basis, mother? I can't just answer.
No. Answer the question. If you cannot answer, just say I don't want to answer. Answer the question. Yes or not?
No, it's not yes, and it's no.
It's
none
no.
Of the above.
No. Why you say no? Let's go further.
It's none of the above. I didn't say no or yes. It's none of the above because it's not a fact.
It's none of the above. You are wrong. Just a second.
Am I wrong?
I tell you, you are wrong because Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said you are wrong. What Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said? Kiba Vipra, Kiba Nyasi Shudra Kenenai, He Krishna Tattva Veta, Sei Guru Roy. Do you know this verse?
I don't know it, so explain, mother.
You do know this verse? This verse is very simple and very popular Bengali. Kiba Vipra. If you are a Brahmin. Kiba Nyasi Shudra. If you are a Shudra. It doesn't matter. Kenenai. This is Bengali. He Krishna Tattva Veta. Tattva Veta. Veta means the knowledge. If you know Tattva, the truth. He Krishna Krishna Tattva. If you know Krishna Tattva, say Guru Hoy. You are a guru. This is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, but if you go to Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says that anyone can reach the goal of life. So the goal of life is...
Can you give the meaning of the sloka, the English meaning of the sloka you just gave? Like read all, say in full.
Yes. If you are a Brahmana or a Shudra, it doesn't matter, Ken and I. If you know Krishna science, you are a guru. He Krishna Guru Hoy. That's Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And this is just one verse, but there are so many you can say. I tell you something else, because Guru Purnima is coming. Guru Purnima is coming. So let's talk about something else. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu told Nityananda Prabhu not coming to Ratha Yatra every year in Puri, where the devotees were having a lot of fun. Prasad and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu there, and it was amazing. So Nityananda Prabhu couldn't resist to go and meet Lord Chaitanya the devotee, so he came. When Chaitanya Mahaprabhu saw Nityananda Prabhu, please mute. When Chaitanya Mahaprabhu saw Nityananda Prabhu there, he was very upset. He said, Prabhu, like that, he said, Prabhu, I told you, don't come here every year, please. Because Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, when he speaks, he's very kind. So he was like, oh Mahajan, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, oh Mahajan, why you came here? I told you not to come. You know why? He said, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, I told you not to come because you only can do a service in Bengal that only me can do. But if you're not me, only you can do. Only you can preach bhakti in Bengal. Please go back there and preach bhakti. And there is something else I want to tell you. Get married. Get married, because I want everybody to understand that not only sannyasis can develop the symptoms of love of God. That's Chaitanya Charitamrita. Very embarrassing situation. Nityananda Prabhu was an avadut. He has so much love for Lord Chaitanya that he never thought about his reputation. He went to one man's house, and instead of taking one wife, he took two. Janava and I forgot the name of the other wife. Janava and I will remember. So he took two wives. He got married, and he had two kids, one daughter and one son. And the daughter was rejected by many men because they said, oh, this girl is inauspicious because she was born from a sannyasi marriage. So many offenses against Lord Nityananda. But Lord Nityananda was preaching heavily and amazingly in West Bengal, although all this criticism, it was small, and did a lot of pastimes. It was incredible, and this is what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu did. So when we were Sahadev, and all of you here, we were, convinced that the goal of life is to become sannyasi, to become monk. Without that, this is just a temporary situation that I'm married right now, but actually the goal is like that. I have to renounce, and then next life, I don't renounce this life. I just like, this is our consciousness, but this is not what the Acharya is saying. It's not what the books are saying. Anyone should, in their own ashram and own nature, practice the process and do spiritual advancement. We see so many devotees, very good spiritual advanced, and they are grihastas. And even Okay, Vaisheshika, this Prabhu, that Prabhu. No, I'm talking about that. I'm talking about normal people that you meet and they have a lot of love, a lot of realization. Normal people, normal devotees, they're very sincere. They're doing a lot of service when they can, or maybe they are at home, but they never forget Krishna. So our judgment is cloudy about what spiritual advancement, what is to be a devotee, what is not to be. We have to bring the Shastras. We have to bring the evidence. Bring the science of Bhakti to the table. Bring Rupa Goswami. Bring Sanatana Goswami, Jiva Goswami, the best teacher of Bhakti Yoga. Bring Bhagavad Gita to the table. Bring that. That's my proposal. That's my understanding. Bring Bhagavad Gita to the table.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Anita Kishore Devi. John Shakshu Prabhu, do you still have something to say, or it's your previous hands up still there?
I wanted to say something, but I just entered the bathroom, so there will be echo. So let's end it.
Okay. All right. I hope you can still listen, but I think the question Mother Nitya Kishore asked, and you said it's neither yes nor no. I think there should be a definitive answer.
No, the answer is no. No, the answer is no.
Yeah, that's what I'm coming to, because I do not think it will be right to say it depends on whatever. The statement is that love of Godhead is the goal, and our varana or ashram is not determinant to attaining that love of Godhead. It depends on the individuals. One, you assess yourself, and then you weigh yourself which ashram is going to help you get to that. And so if being a grihasta can help you attain a love of Godhead, you stick to that. And you stick to
This is our Shastra. This is our Shastra.
The rules and the principles ascribed to Grihastha ashram. So there are aspirations we all can have, but like we all saying that Srila Prabhupada also said that do not jump, because if you jump, you're going to break your leg. So even though we are pursuing something higher, but we have to go step by step. And step by step does not necessarily mean that we have to jump outside from our ashram to some other ashram. We can still get higher and higher in Grihastha ashram. We can get higher and higher in Sannyas ashram. I was very much shocked and surprised when I would hear my Gurudev say that I do not want to be the same person I was last year. I have to advance. And I used to think to myself, Gurudev, what you're doing, we can't even just think about how you do all these things. But there is always room for improvement. So I think that is what we are all talking about, that if we belong to wherever, let's try to understand what is ascribed in that particular varana or ashram, and then do as much as we can, because the more we do what is ascribed to us, the much closer we can come to the goal, which is Krishna Prema. So that is okay. Tribhuvanat Prabhu, please, you may unmute. Hare Krishna, Tribhuvanat.
Thank you, Sahadev Prabhu.
Hare
This is a wonderful moderation session, and I want to thank Mother Nitya Devi. She's very vibrant. Very vibrant. You balance the class. You balance the class. The class is not in a straight extra. Thank you. That is just my submission.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. It appears like we lost our revered speaker. I think it's internet connection. We hope he'll be able to come back before we end this Sangha. But if someone else has something to say, please, you may do so.
I think when we get offline, then there is something that I will say. But I wanted to.
Okay, maybe while we wait for her to come in, there is this video I would like to share. It's about
Sadi,
yes, go ahead.
Please, before you share the video, there is something she said which you rightly buckle, you rightly put in order. She said that the Chena Apistari Suna, it's not for us.
Yeah,
it said it's not for us. We should keep it aside. But the same Mahaprabhu who has said so, the same Mahaprabhu, he has also referenced, to back up his point that wherever ashram you belong, if you know the science of God, you are a spiritual master or you are a guru. So it's not the same person. It sounds contradiction. So you straight the class. That was nice. Some contradiction was there. I don't think people who were raising comments, raising questions, they are wrong. Because
no,
they are not wrong.
No, not at all. Not at all. It's thank you for saying that. It's a different perspective. Like I said, we all, and I think Jana Chakshi Prabhu also said the same thing. We're all saying the same thing I think Harichakra Prabhu also said the same thing. We all say the same thing, maybe in different wording. But the whole concept is that certain things are said for certain people. And certain people who do not belong to that class, NITYA Kishore Devi is back, who do not belong to that class, cannot artificially live their lives like that. No, because if someone is married, and more especially you have children, then it is expected of you as the husband to also be able to take care of your wife and your children. You cannot be a married man.
The prescribed duties, they change according to the ashram.
Yeah.
But we thought that prescribed duties is what the temple president tell you to do. You wash pots here, your prescribed duties. You clean here, your prescribed duty. You do book distribution, your prescribed duty. This is not your prescribed duty. This is the service that you do for your church as a member to your temple. Prescribed duties means swabhav. According to the Bhagavad Gita, the prescribed duty born from the nature of the person. And this is the reason why when we see people, they're very dedicated to their prescribed duties, they have wisdom more than many devotees. And what they don't have the spiritual understanding. And that's to be added. But devotees means that they have the spiritual understanding and they do their prescribed duties. As a woman, a mother, a parent, a father, as a Vaishya, a Kshatriya, a Brahmana, a Shudra. Prescribed duties. Not only me are speaking this, Mahatma Prabhu and many other devotees, we are fixing those misunderstandings. Oh, your prescribed duty is Sanatana Dharma. You're not there yet. So what you are doing in your lifetime? You have any doubt? And then a man leaves, a father leaves the family because they very renounced or they're not attached to the family. And then what happened to them? They're not spiritual advanced enough to renounce. They get other women. They fell in Maya. They get crazy. They get, their life is ruined. Why? Family is not Maya? So if they leave the family, why they are get ruined? Because it's a misunderstanding, it's a misconception, it's a mistaken. It's a mistaken. Okay,
Yeah.
it seems that Gyana Chakshus has some question.
I think he is not available to speak yet. But Prabhuji, if you are available, you may unmute.
Well, if it's not there, just one quick comment on
Okay,
what
go ahead. Yes.
what
Shrimavara
Mataji just
Prabhu.
said. What Mataji just said. Swadharma, specific duty according to one's nature. That's correct. But the scripture says that there are two types. There are two types of Swadharma. Prabhupada in Bhagavad Gita, chapter 2, text 31, the purport. Srila Prabhupada said there are two kinds of Swadharma, specific duties. As long as one is not liberated, one has to perform the duties of that particular body in accordance with religious principles in order to achieve liberation. When one is liberated, one's Swadharma, specific duty, becomes spiritual and is not in the material bodily concept. So anyway, just that is it. So there are two types of Swadharma. It's not the bodily concept only, but also there's the spiritual Swadharma. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yeah, thank you. Let me say, if I may share that verse.
Krupavanath has some comment or question, no? Before?
I think he spoke already.
Okay, no problem.
231. So it talks about Swadharma. And Swadharma, the translation is one's own religious principles.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, well, it's true, as Prabhuji said, and what Madam NITYA KISHORE was also saying. But all I was saying is that we should appreciate each and every one, especially what they are doing to serve the Lord, regardless of where they're coming from and how they are termed, whether somebody is a liberal class. In fact, it was very interesting. I didn't know about this, but even the 4 ashrams, there are still categories. There are some grihastas, they live their lives like brahmacharis. They are grihastas, but they live their life very, very simple. So if someone wants to, if married couples want to live like that, and if they can serve the Lord, that is okay. And if someone is also a grihasta, a type of grihasta who likes to earn money and be able to buy what they want to buy and then serve the Lord, that is also okay. Even in sannyas ashram, there are categories also. There are some sannyasis, they do this madhukari. They just lay at one place. If food comes to them, they eat. If food does not come, they don't eat. And there are some sannyasis, they will go round houses, and then once they get what they can eat, they go somewhere and sit one place. So we all will have to look within ourselves, sincerely speaking, what is, in fact, it is said that the guru is called guru because the guru is so expert to engage the disciples accordingly. Because when the guru is with the disciples, the guru knows who can tolerate this, who cannot tolerate that. And I said this before. Shamasundra Prabhu, Srila Prabhupada's early disciple, he used to say that he saw Srila Prabhupada chastise so many of his god brothers every now and then, specifically Tamal Krishna Goswami. Srila Prabhupada would chastise him every single minute. But for him, Srila Prabhupada never chastised him, because the spiritual master understood that this person, I can chastise him and it's going to help him. This person, if I chastise him this time, he's going to bloop. So the spiritual master, the whole target is the devotee developing love of Godhead. How they develop it may be different, but the conclusion, the end result.
Exactly. We learn that only in this lifestyle that's possible love of God, and that's wrong.
Yeah.
That's a mistake. That's a mistake. Of course, and everybody was always feeling that something was wrong because the scriptures say something else. And the whole Bhagavatam, there are all kinds of devotees coming from different backgrounds, Kshatriyas, Brahmanas, very high people, low people, committed mistake and living the life. And it's like, how is that possible? They are all devotees. Yeah, they are all devotees. Well, but they are telling me I have to be this, I have to be that, I have to be like this, I have to be like that. And then you don't fit. And then after so many years, we always small. Why? Because you don't open to people to be themselves. We don't open to people to just practice and slowly go into their journey of understanding and authenticity, and real understanding. And this is my nature. This is how I am. This is how I work. And this is how I practice the process without feeling this repression that, according to Bhagavad Gita, a repression is never the way, never good.
Yeah.
Okay? And we cannot force it. And when people try to force themselves to do something, and then what happened? Hypocrisy. Hypocrisy, English?
Yeah, hypocrisy, that's all. Yeah.
Hypocrisy. Hypocrisy happened. And hypocrisy is in the mode of ignorance. And in the mode of ignorance, there's no spiritual advancement. They fake to survive in a judgmental society. And this gives them not a spiritual advancement. It doesn't give them creation, passion, understanding, empathy, compassion, love. It doesn't give them what real spiritual life means. Spiritual life is not about appearance. Spiritual life, it's about what you do, your actions, and even when you are alone, when nobody's seeing you, what you are doing, what you are thinking, how you apply charity, how you apply compassion, how you apply the qualities of a person who is devoted to God and must see God everywhere. How is the life? Saintly life, spiritual life, understanding life. How you apply that in day by day. This is it should be your concern. That should be your main concern. But where our energy goes and how to hide who are really my problems, my difficulties, to fit, not to really be free from my difficulties. It's not because nobody knows I'm drinking alcohol, not because of that. The point is, why are you attracted to drink alcohol? What is happening to you that you're attracted to tamagun? What's the problem? That you have to be concerned. Not how to hide that I'm doing something wrong.
Hare Krishna, thank you so much. I would like to quickly share a very nice song written by Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, which may help us with this particular themes or subject matter we are beautifully discussing. We all know Bhaktivinoda Thakur was a very unique acharya in our line. And so, let me see here. It's a poem. It's called Sharagrahi Vaishnav.
Mm-hmm.
Sharagrahi Vaishnav. And this briefly is like a devotee who, under all circumstances, is a devotee. That wherever one may be, whatever one may be, his whole attention is on Krishna, no matter what they do. So it says the song name is Alas for those who spend their days. Official name is Sharagrahi Vaishnav, written by Bhaktivinoda. Alas for those who spend their days in festive mirth and joy. The dazzling, deadly liquid forms their hearts forever employ. The shining bottles charm their eyes and draw their hearts' embrace. The slaves of wine can never rise from what we call disgrace. Was man intended to be a brute in work and heart? Should man, the Lord of all around, from common sense depart?
Yeah.
Man's glory is in common sense, dictating us the grace that man is made to live and love the beauteous heaven's embrace. The flesh is not our own, alas. The mortal frame a chain, the soul confined for former wrongs, should try to rise again. Why then this childish play in that which cannot be our own, which falls within 100 years, as if a rose are blown? Our life is but a rosy hue, to go ere long before not. The soul alone would last forever, with good or evil fraught. How deep the thought of times to be, how grave the aspect looks, and wrapped in awe become, oh we, when reading nature's books. Man's life to him a problem dark, a screen both left and right. No soul has come to tell us what exists beyond our sight. But then a voice, how deep and soft within ourselves is left. Man, man, thou art immortal soul. Thee death can never melt. For thee, thy sire on high has kept a store of bliss above. To end of time, thou art all his, who wants but purest love. Well, I would like to end here because it's kind of lengthy, but in brief, what Bhaktivinoda Thakur is saying is that if even nobody comes from the spiritual world to tell us how other things are happening in other realms, within our own hearts, naturally, we have some feelings because the Supreme Lord is there in our hearts. And the Supreme Lord is telling us that this gross material body will fall. We're going to lose it at some point. But ourselves, the self, is eternal. So maybe after the class, devotees may go back and reread this. It's kind of a poem, so it's very detailed. But it's very beautiful how Bhaktivinoda is trying to show devotees and the world in general that wherever we are, whatever we may do, we have to surrender to Krishna. And surrendering to Krishna does not mean that you live in the temple alone, but you give the fruits of your labor to Krishna. That is surrender. Hare Krishna. Madam NITYA, KISHORE, this is your class. So if you have concluding words to end, you may do that, and then we will say Hare Krishna.
Thank you very much for the invitation. Thank you very much for the participation. And it's a pleasure to be here again. And I am in India. I came from Brazil 1 week ago. Now I am in Hyderabad doing some exams. There is a very incredible hospital here in South India, very cheap, very good, amazing. And I'm here doing some exams, and I'm going back to Mayapur on Sunday.
Oh, I didn't know you went back to India.
Yeah, I am in India. I live in Mayapur. What can I do?
Okay. Okay. Hare Krishna.
Okay.
So, dear devotees, we humbly go into
Please, could you just give me 30 seconds?
Okay, go ahead, please.
Yeah, thank you very much, Mother Kishore, for this beautiful class. Like I said, when you finished your presentation, before the questions start coming, sometimes your classes could be very, very challenging to the different thoughts of different devotees' realizations. So, and I appreciate you for what you do, and I appreciate all of the contributors for this class, because I've been patiently listening to different devotees' realization, and this is the beauty of Krishna consciousness, because in each and everyone's contribution, I was seeing different levels of realization of the same topic. Thank you for giving such a very thought-provoking class. Thank you, all of the devotees, for your contributions and sharing in this particular topic. It is the beauty of Bhagavatam. Everybody was wrapped short in this conversation, and that gives me a lot of joy. Thank you very much, everyone.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Salika Prabhu. That reminds me of an instructor I had. That instructor, you can never sleep in his class. Just the mere voice that is coming out of that body, you can never sleep. So, but NITYA Kishore's class is a class that is always going to keep us engaged. And we can't thank her enough. And of course, the devotees' contribution and association. So please, you may all unmute and we chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra to express our appreciation to our revered speaker, Her Grace, NITYA Kishore Devi. Jai. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Pancha Kalpa Kripa Sindhu
I'm not pleased. I'm not pleased. Whatever you do, I'm not pleased.
Jai. Hare Krishna.